in 2022. A user who goes by LovelyBloom1988 had made a post onto the paranormal subreddit. The post was titled "Walking Skeletons on Top of a Train Car," and in this post, Lovely Bloom would talk about a really strange memory they have. This is what the post said. When I was 6 or 7, we moved out to a ranch in the countryside of Laredo, Texas. Not a lot of people with good income lived out here. Most houses were isolated and surrounded by woods. My mum and stepdad decided to rent this house because rent was cheap, only $350 a month. No indoor plumbing or central air. A lot of low-income families lived out here. There was a family that lived next to us, a family of 6 kids, all girls and 2 adults. They were also low income and often didn't have much to eat. My mum would often help out with food, and in return, the kids would come over and help my mum clean the house. One day, they came over and ate dinner with us, helped my mum clean, and me and the youngest girl that was about my age fell asleep on my bed. After a while, my mum woke us up because it was getting late, and she needed to go home. Her sisters had left her behind because they didn't want to wake her. It was a good walk to her home, as there was a dirt road leading to our house to get to hers. My mum was going to send my brother to walk her, but I butted in and said, "Please can I walk her?" as we were friends. My mum said yes. So I then walked her to the gate. After we departed, I started on my way home when, out of nowhere, she comes running behind me, crying, throws herself at me and pulls me down by the shoulders. I ask her what's wrong. What happened? She points up and says, "Look up there, look." She was pointing up at the top of some abandoned train cars, and what I saw to this day, I cannot explain. There were 3 skeletons walking back and forth. I was like, what the? One was laying on its side and it had clothes on too, like a tank top and shorts. The other 2 were standing up, just walking back and forth behind that one, stopping and waving hi. We looked at each other and ran to my house. I quickly told my mum what we saw. My mum and 2 brothers plus us went back to look, and they were still there, waving hi at us. We threw rocks at them, but the rocks didn't faze them, just like went through them. Either that or we were bad at aiming. After a while, we went home and never saw them again. Till this day, I cannot seem to understand or be able to explain how those skeletons were moving. Some will probably say we were hallucinating, but how can 5 people see the same thing? Some have said that it was Halloween props, but no, it was the 90s and I have never seen no Halloween props that moved that well during the time the technology wasn't real yet for that kind of movement. Halloween props like that cost a lot of money and that family couldn't even afford to eat. We were in a dirt poor country. This sounds super weird. Such a bizarre memory to have. Eventually, Lovely Bloom would reply to some comments that were asking some questions, giving some more detailed information on the whole situation. So how did it end? Did you guys eventually just walk away and leave them up there? I'm guessing it was dark. Could have been people in black costumes with white skeletons painted on or something. How well could you see them? How close did you get? We just ended walking away because we threw rocks at them and the rocks wouldn't even faze them. It's honestly like the rocks would just go through them. No, it was not dark at all. It was plain daylight out when we saw them. It was getting later in the day, but we could clearly tell it wasn't humans. Like you could see the rib bones and leg bones, the arm bones and the skull, everything. They didn't make any voice-like noises. I would say we were like a car length and a half away. Wasn't too far, because we were throwing rocks. I called my mum and asked if she remembers, and she said yes. That the little girl had told her that the reason she got so scared was because she was trying to walk by to go to a house. They wouldn't let her and were stopping her. So I'm not exactly sure what it was the little girl saw before she came running towards me. How long did you all stare at the skeletons before leaving? When me and the little girl saw them, it was about maybe a minute. She was crying hysterically. I wasn't really scared or cried, I was just more shocked because I couldn't believe what I was looking at. We took off to go get my mum and brothers. That took us like 5 to 6 minutes, and when we came back, they were still there. Were still waving hi to all of us. So I would say maybe like 10 to 15 minutes, just throwing rocks at them. We walked away after a while because we couldn't figure out how they were moving. There were no trees around because I thought maybe they might be puppets, but that means someone would have to be in a tree or something to move them. And why were they so friendly, waving, hilariously weird? At the time, I also thought that was really weird. The girl did tell my mum though that they weren't letting her pass through. So in reality, I don't know how friendly they were. Maybe they were acting friendly when they really weren't. Now, this could be just a whole lie, just a user on Reddit making up a story because they can and want internet points, but it's such a weird random story. How do you even think of something like this? Like seeing 3 skeletons walking on abandoned trains. The skeletons stopped the girl from passing, then were waving at them. They were throwing rocks at the skeletons. All these details are so odd and specifically detailed. Also, they were a car length away from these skeletons in broad daylight. It wasn't like they saw some skeleton figures from a distance in the dark at night. You know, that would be a totally somewhat normal, weird story that I would believe. But they saw whatever they saw in front of them on a clear day. That's what makes this whole thing so unbelievable and crazy to me. If I saw walking skeletons on a train as a kid, it would be my ultimate goal to figure out what the hell it was that I saw, because that is a wild memory to have. I would question and think about that forever. If this really happened, you know, it's real, the story. I am very curious to know what this was and what it was that they saw. This just sounds so insane. So yeah, just a little fascinating story that I thought was pretty cool and wanted to share with you guys. What are your thoughts on the story? Do you believe it? Is it real? Yeah. I have said many times in videos that if you have a cool piece of lost media or just something strange and interesting you want to see me cover, send over a DM to me on Instagram explaining what it is you want me to talk about. Over the past year or so, I have gotten hundreds of DMs giving me really cool suggestions and topics that I would eventually end up talking about on the channel. Just thank you guys so much for all that. You know, it's really cool seeing all your ideas and topics, and I just hope to see more of that in the future. Not too long ago, I got sent a DM on Instagram that informed me about a really strange YouTube video. The video is definitely an odd one, and it's just been stuck in my head ever since I got the message. I just feel the need to discuss it because I myself am just really confused with it. I can't really research anything about it because it's really unknown, the video. It only has like 2,000 views. I don't think anyone has ever talked about it. So this was the message I received by user random name 1372. Hello, I'm using a throwaway account because I don't use Instagram. I don't know if you take requests for your videos, but I have a mysterious video that hasn't really been talked about. It's not a case of lost media, instead just an odd, mysterious video on YouTube that you might want to take a look at. Let me know if you're interested. I said I'd love to take a look at it and thank you, and this was the second message. Hi, this is the video in question. I have no idea what's going on in the video, and the title and description don't help either. It's pretty intriguing though. My thought process with a lot of weird videos online is it could literally be nothing, but in this case, the video seems oddly mean-spirited. The person in the video looks as though they're on drugs. I honestly have no idea. I don't know if you will find this interesting at all, but I just really wanted to share it. By the way, I didn't find this myself. It's something I encountered on r/deep into YouTube. This is the link to that. I went and had a look at the Deep into YouTube Reddit post about this video before actually watching the video itself. The post said that they discovered this unnerving clip from 2008 YouTube, and they would go on to say the following. I don't know why, but this vid seemed a bit uncomfortable to watch. Something about it didn't feel right. So, okay, what is this video? why is everyone so weirded out by it? Let's take a look at this video.
I love you guys too, you're the best. This job means everything to me. And I go, neither one of these fuckers will work. And yet, as soon as they get drunk, it's a team. It's like they say they want to be sailors, but what they really want is shore leave. They want to be like a fucking sailor.
The video is just this. It's of a woman who obviously isn't acting normal at all. We can hear some people in the background talking about something, not relating to what can be seen on screen. What is happening in this? Who is this person and what is going on with them? The video was uploaded by a user who goes by TurboFan1 back on January 14th, 2008. The description for the video reads, "Some lover, some hater, ho just get some sleep." This is the only video on their channel. They have no channel description, nothing. Random name 1372, the user who suggested this video to me, and the user who posted this video to Reddit are both definitely right. There is something off about this video and kinda unnerving. In the background of the video, we can hear what I believe is the Opie and Anthony radio show. I really do not know much about this radio show. I did a bit of research though, and Opie and Anthony would often talk with a person named Frenchie, so I believe this is what the title of the video is referring to, I guess. You can also see this text going across the screen for some reason. It doesn't seem like the Opie and Anthony show is talking about this woman in the video at all, I don't think. So who is this woman and what is going on with her, because she does not look normal at all. It definitely looks like she's on something, I don't know. It appears to be some computer screen showing what is apparently an Opie and Anthony live room. I have no idea what this website is on or where this live room is. Is this woman live streaming herself in this Opie and Anthony live room? I don't know. I really cannot figure out anything about this video. I tried looking in the comments, the 3 comments in the comment section don't really give any context on what is happening. On the Reddit post about this, no one really gave any answer. At the end, what's pretty strange is that eventually the screen fades and text appears which says, "Oops," I believe. Whatever that means. So yeah, this is weird. Like, this could be nothing at all. There's a chance that's the case. Maybe this has something to do with the Anthony and Opie show and I'm just unfamiliar with them, but I just don't know. This is just weird. Hopefully by talking about this video and putting some light to it, answers will arrive, because I'm very curious as to what this video could be. And yeah, I just hope the woman in this video is doing okay. Back in December 2017, a user on Reddit who goes by She's Such a Riot had made some posts talking about a weird TV experience they supposedly had when they were young. They would make a post onto the Tip of My Tongue subreddit asking if anyone had any information on what the thing they saw on TV could have possibly been. This is what the post had said. Nude humans walking towards and in hamster wheels, possibly broadcast interference, early 2000s. When I was about 16, I came home from hanging with friends. I was a huge cartoon fan, still am. Grabbed some food and settled into my bed to watch Nickelodeon. I knew it was Nick because it was the last channel I watched that day and no one shared the TV in my room. So I turned it on to see this creepy black, white and grey scene where hundreds of nude humans are walking in a line over these hills in the background towards these giant hamster wheels in the front of the scene. They're walking towards the wheels as a few people are already in the wheels, walking endlessly and mindlessly in this robotic zombie-like state. The people walking toward the wheels are also in this similar state, as if there is no life within their eyes. they're just cold, robotic. There's this wind-like noise whistling in the background. It looks real, not animated, and as I watch in awe at this dark scene, I come to a similar conclusion and ask myself why Nick would have something so live and non-action. Really, as the entire scene just keeps repeating itself of more humans walking towards and in these hamster wheels. I start thinking maybe it's just some weird short and it's kinda cool in a dark sort of way. But minutes go by and it starts to get dull watching the same scene not doing anything else, so I quickly change the channel to something else when in a split second I realize, wait a minute, WTF did I just watch? And change it back immediately, only to find SpongeBob on mid-episode. You could tell SpongeBob was on for a while, not like the weird short played first and it just came on or anything. Freaked out, I kept going back to surrounding channels thinking maybe it wasn't actually on Nick, but nothing had the hamster wheel video on. I have tried to research what this was for years and never have been able to find anything remotely similar. Not sure if this was some sort of broadcast interference or something out of this world, but if anyone has any information and a logical explanation, I would greatly appreciate it. This sounds super strange. This person could be 100% lying. I think that is a pretty obvious possibility, but if what they're saying is true, that they actually saw this and they're looking for a genuine answer, then what actually happened and what was this? OP guesses maybe it was some broadcast interference or hijacking. TV hijackings happen all the time, and when people hijack channels, they usually broadcast really weird stuff to push some sort of message to the public. Personally though, I don't think this is the case. This supposedly happened on Nickelodeon, a really popular channel. If Nickelodeon got hijacked and played something that sounded this bizarre, nude humans walking mindlessly on hamster wheels, I'm sure more than just one person would recall this event happening. It would be a lot more documented, I think. But there are a few users who as well recall watching this though, like this one. OMG, I actually think I remember this. Like many other people said, the memory is kind of vague and repressed, but I can picture it perfectly. And it literally makes me feel so paranoid and scared. I feel like I could tear up right now just thinking about it, lol. I would have been 6 years old when this broadcasted. It's so creepy to look back and think about it. I think I saw part of this. It was creepy, but as you said, dull. I think it might have been from some 1930s surrealist movie or a student production. Maybe a really weird commercial was playing on the TV before it cut back to SpongeBob. A user had stated that what they saw could have maybe been related to one of those old MacBook Lemmings commercials. Looking at one of these commercials, this could definitely be what was seen. Obviously they're not nude or on hamster wheels, but the mind and memory is so weird and can make up and just add silly details that aren't true, especially after over a decade. But yeah, whatever happened to this user is a mystery. I think what they're saying is true, personally. I think this is all what they're saying is a real memory, but definitely could have misremembered a lot of things. I am very curious as to what they saw though. Did they see this on Nickelodeon? Maybe. Was it a broadcast hijacking? Who knows? Maybe it could have been. Maybe it was just not documented at all because it was just early 2000s, late at night. No one just picked it up or talked about it. Who knows? A little mystery for you, and yeah.